talking about the old days, because there's a challenge in here to talk about how the people in the room got involved in Desert Bus. So James doesn't count because he started it.
Yep.
Ashley, when did you get involved?
Oh, I was there from day one.
Day one?
Well, James and I had been dating for quite a number of years already at that point. So, yeah, no, I was there for DB1. I remember bringing cases of Coke to try and keep them alive.
The old days. Colin, how did you get involved in Desert Bus?
Well, considering this is my first year, I've actually been watching for a number of years, and I know Serge from outside of other circles, and this year he was like, hey, so we need site volunteers, and I know you love cleaning up stuff at work, so...
Yeah, we worked in the same office and go to a lunch together every Friday.
Oh.
Inside track. Kelly!
I started at 9, and I know Kathleen had mentioned during 8 that they need more volunteers, so I literally sent an email that, like, right after they said it. I was just, I was like, sent the email, and I got started, and then, I met Kathleen and mentioned that I'd nannied before, because she had baby Penelope at the time, and so then I started working for her, so now I'm around. But I'd always wanted to be involved with Desert Bus, especially because my goddaughter, she's 4, and we find out either this year or next if she has a very rare form of hemophilia. She has a 1 in 4 chance of having it. And so we find out this year, so like we're super into like supporting the hospitals and that sort of thing, because she's already been in the hospital once, not for the blood disorder, but so like for me this is a huge personal get the money for the kids sort of thing. So
Nice.
Okay. Ashton?
I was at Desert Bus 1, but I wasn't involved until Desert Bus 4.
Oh, right, because you know
I know
everybody from way
like,
back.
all the older people from
Yeah, like your brother went to high school. Like,
yeah, went to high school.
graduated
Was
with
he a year below you guys?
Yeah, he was in with Graham.
Yeah,
He
okay.
graduated the same year Graham did.
Yeah, okay. So that's how I met up with everybody here. And then I remember bringing, what did I bring, like a vegetable platter or something?
Yeah, probably.
Because everyone was like, no more pizza, please. No more junk food. We need vegetables. So I brought them a vegetable platter. Yeah. I think I still have some photos from back then. But then I would watch every year. I had moved to Vancouver, I think, in Desert Bus, or before Desert Bus 3. So I was watching Desert Bus there, and I was watching everybody's faces every time they had to do any administration work, because it was all, well, like, we have chip in, so, and you couldn't export any data from there, so it was like drag, copy, paste the website of all of the donations, paste that into a spreadsheet, and then deal with the prizes there. So I'm like, I can help.
Yep.
I have a better way. So yeah, that's how I got involved. I said, I will build you this thing.
For those of you who don't know, Ashton built almost our entire back end himself in the early days, and then we've had some help since, but Desert Bus wouldn't be what it is without all of Ashton's unbelievable amount of work.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Cut to engineering.
I think they're eating breakfast.
Hey. No, it's okay.
We're on a skeleton
And
crew.
Fugi is at the back there with his headphones. Oh, he is listening to us. Hey, buddy. So Fugi also did a lot of work on the
Yay,
the
Fugi!
website. He's the best. He's like, eh.
Yeah. Steph.
Eh?
Nice timing. How did you get involved
Hello.
with Desert Bus?
Oh,
Can you
so
turn my mic back on?
I think the first time I actually watched was 6. I'm gonna be guessing years here a little bit.
I'm over here.
I wasn't really paying a lot of attention, and then 7, I gave Mikey a plush claptrap to give away in his lot because I think, I had given him this really huge claptrap as a gift the year before, and he wanted a smaller one for his like lot that he had given away. I didn't realize there was a craft along, or I don't know. At the time, I was just giving him something to do in his set. And then I was like seriously invested, so I watched the whole thing that year, and I wanted to get into the craft along the next year, and I did another claptrap, and then I did another claptrap. It was really huge. It was like this giant plush thing, and I got tired of doing claptraps. So I've been a crafter since what did I say? 8. Yeah.
There's about 6 or something like that.
I watched it, and then
So long time watcher, long time crafter longer.
yeah, and Jordan, I've known Jordan for
The
a few
Jeej.
years now.
Jeej.
Okay, PJ says I'm about right. He started watching a Desert Bus 2. I have no idea how it took me that long to actually watch it when
Like, what
my husband was watching it.
For weeks at a time every year.
Yeah, I don't know. I also didn't know he watched wrestling for a real good couple of years into our relationship. That's a different story. Anyway, Jordan's been asking me to volunteer for a few years, but I was only able to afford and get away from work this year. So, yeah.
I met the crew through a mutual friend of Cam and I's. So we both had a wonderful friend named Annalise. And one day she just texted me and she's like, Serge, you seem like a sad, lonely nerd boy. I know another sad and lonely nerd boy. Do you guys want to play 40K with each other? And we're kind of like, okay.
That would
I was
absolutely be my
actually
description of Surge.
wondering,
Sad,
like, the other
lonely.
day,
Yeah.
the other day, like,
Where did Serge come from?
yes, he's been around for a while, but like, I don't remember.
How?
Yeah, and when it just. It just
One
feels
day
like
he
you've
was just
always
there.
been, and it's like that he's been around and just fit in so seamlessly. But I was just like, when was that?
Yeah, and then that year would have been 5 or 6. Desert Bus 5 or 6. Cam was the volunteer coordinator for a year, and then Cam was like, "Hey, we need more site volunteers." While we're playing Magic against each other, and then so I came in as a site volunteer, and then that year I was also working at the parsonage at the time, and I didn't take any time off work because we weren't smart back in those days.
No.
So I came in the mornings before opening the cafe, and I'd like clean furiously, and I'd stop by after I finished my work shift and clean furiously and leave. And then the year after that, I was invited into the shipping team with you.
Yes.
And the year after that, I joined the organizing committee.
Yep.
And then I took over all the food stuff because there are so many talented humans involved in this organization, but nobody had ever actually handled the food before. And that actually takes some amount of know-how. Food can make people sick as well as full. Yeah.
Or angry if there is a lack of food. I get real hangry.
Yeah.
Like real hangry.
That's fair.
My coworkers have actually like seen me and been like, "You need a granola bar."
Do they just like sometimes walk up to your desk and put a thing on your desk and then walk back out the room?
They haven't given me food, but it's definitely been like, I think it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them at all.
Apparently 6 was also the year I took Pika to the ocean.
Oh, right, yeah.
And gave her coffee.
Nobody told me she had... We're not going there.